Good morning everyone and welcome back to another Octane Thermoplastic LEGO Legend of Zelda custom set showcase, and this is our fourth week here. We're a third of the way through the project and have a pretty exciting one to show you there by the name of Z0004 with 199 pieces. This is a different one to what we've had so far. It's another one of the bigger ones. It's probably one of my more impressive ones, if I do say myself. So I hope you all left your guesses last week, and the reveal is Great Sea Treasure Hunt. A lot to cover today. So this is not the Fire Sanctuary. Let's just put that out there. So this is set Z0004, the Great Sea Treasure Hunt, for 899 pieces for about ages 10 plus, and you can see it contains 4 minifigures by Zephos, the Great Fairy, a telescope man called Old Man Ho-Ho, and Toon Link. And you can see that we've got some other kind of named characters included, including a Choo-Choo, a Warship, the King of Red Lions, and not to mention the elephant in the room, the Big Octo. Here we have some rough backbox art showing you some of the features to come. Let's get into it. So, I already mentioned most of the stats on the left, but it's priced at roughly £50 to £70. And there's a bit of a dispute on the age limit, because it could be 8, could be 10, it's undecided. So here, let's read the description. So I wrote, sail the Great Sea in a hunt for treasure in the new LEGO The Legend of Zelda Great Sea Treasure Hunt construction set, containing 4 minifigures and nearly 900 LEGO elements to let your child recreate scenes from the iconic Wind Waker. Build an island, giant Octo, enemy warship, and the King of Red Lions, as well as a brick-built Choo-Choo and Cloud. Defeat the enemy warship to get treasure from the wreck. Use the iron boots to solve the puzzle and reveal the chest hidden within. Fire the cannon at the Octo's eye to watch him collapse and free the fairy trapped inside. Sets also includes spare ammunition, empty bottles, 3 treasure chests, and interchangeable accessories for the King of Red Lions. Hours of fun await within. Let's have a look. So here we have our main components of the set. As mentioned in the thing, we have a bit of an island, a big Octo, a Cloud for Zephos, the King of Red Lions, and a warship. Here we have some more of them in a clearer render. We're going to take a look at them individually. But here's one last shot all lined up, including the King of Red Lions accessories, and a couple of the bits which are going to come in the chest, including spare bombs for the bomb cannon, an empty bottle, and some iron boots, as well as one of the chests. So as I mentioned earlier, we have 4 figures with Toon Link, the Great Fairy, that should be Zephos, and Old Man Ho-Ho. And we can exchange accessories for the King of Red Lions. So we either have his closed tab as more of a display option, a sail rack, or the cannon. And both of those just attach into the holes on his back and can be used for different purposes throughout the set, whether it's just for sailing or as a cannon to shoot the Octo. First up here we have the Warship, where if you push in the back of the ship here, then the top pops off, similar to the Magma main in the Fire Sanctuary, and also a chest pops out of this. Now the design is fairly interesting here, fairly brick built with some snot work on the side as well as some tapering in on the top to allow for that warship shape. Also, we have a feature on the Octo where if you shoot this big central eye here, it should detach and the front should collapse, revealing this sparkling interior where, just like in the game, you have a Great Fairy hidden, and then she'll be sat in there to give you whatever you want. The tentacles also articulate, so you could have a bit of fun there with smashing some things. We also have a couple of features on the island too. We have this plate here, which is commonly used for iron boot stomping in the game, as well as these nice little small steps up and some little flowers, as well as a shell. But if you press down on here, the island's going to explode and a chest is going to pop up, revealing another treasure. We also have a feature again stolen from LEGO Minecraft to make this Choo-Choo jump up and down when you rotate this cog. Just a simple cam system, but it adds a bit to the Choo-Choo's dynamicism, just like in the game. Onto the figures, we have Link, Hero of Wind, And he is using midi legs for that extra bit of posability, as well as a secondary hairpiece which actually has the ears molded in, unlike some of the Zeldas I've drawn. Just a simple sword with a brown hilt. And we have Cyclos. I'm really not sure if he's Cyclos or Zephyrus anymore, but anyway, he's got some cloud elements from the Unikitty CMS series recolored into purple, as well as some arm printing, torso printing, no legs, and an exclusively molded head that one day I'd like to reuse for his brother. We also have the Great Fairy here, making great use of the Rio Duran arms from Star Wars Solo, a Star Wars story, as well as this hairpiece, which I designed new for this series, going to use several times throughout the way, therefore I deemed it okay to make a new mold. The Series 14 Spectre piece, and also Possession Ninjago Ghost bottom piece, to add that kind of spirally texture. It's not my favourite figure I've drawn, but I think it's substantially alright, really. So finally we have Old Man Ho-Ho, kind of a filler character. We got his telescope blue hat, a simple cross face print, you can't see the reddened eye, his scarf, and then the simple outfit that he wears. And then one of my favourite things that I've designed across the entire way, we have the Choo Choo. You can see him here both in his studio and his hand-drawn form, making once again amazing use of that splat piece. If you haven't seen my other uses of that splat piece, I would recommend checking out Z0010, the Goma's Lair dungeon expansion set. And I think that really adds to that Wind Waker-y style. And I chose Wind Waker for the Choo Choos because I think it's a lot more interesting to have this conical shape. And I think it just suits the craziness of LEGO, as you can see here. And then we have the big Octo, and don't worry, he is sentient, so I have hand-drawn him as well. He just would not fit on this slide. So you can see the kind of shaping I did to make him work here, and I'm pretty pleased with how he came out. I mean, about as close as you can get in LEGO, really. I mean, I chose tan instead of pink because it's a more common colour and has the pieces. It also doesn't detract from it too much, and on certain lights that Octo does indeed look tan. I cut out the green because I didn't think it added anything, and it would have been so tiny down here it probably would have looked a bit strange, and I had to simplify his top plumage because of the play feature, as well as the pieces available and scaling. I'm particularly fond of his mouth, and I think it looks particularly accurate, and the eyes add a lot of charm. This Octo in particular, I believe, is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 eye Octo, the biggest amount of Octo eyes you can get in Wind Waker. Here is its hand-drawn element, which is also something to be somewhat proud of, I think, in my eyes. Right, and here we have a couple more comparisons go rare. So you can see the King of Red Lions side by side. I was pretty pleased with how he came out. I chose a different scale to a lot of the models that exist online, and he was completely designed off my own back in that regard. You can also see the Octo here kind of in his submerged form, making him look a lot better and closer to what I designed, as well as the Warship, pointing out definitely a couple of discrepancies between the designs, but also a couple of similarities, I think, personally anyway, and I'm pretty pleased with how they came out. So anyway, that is the Great Sea Treasure Hunt. To think about in this one, there's definitely a lot of different elements that make up this set, and that's why I think it's probably one of the more quintessential play sets which I think LEGO would benefit from making. Obviously, the chances of them choosing this as a topic, and the Octo in particular, is obviously quite low. Personally, I just like the Octo battles, and I thought it was a good way to base a set around, but I can definitely see them making something like the King of Red Lions and the Warship. But these kind of play sets are really common throughout the Lego scene, with a giant character, some landscaping, but what really makes this one stand out to me is definitely the features. I crammed a feature into almost everywhere that I could, and none of them compromised the design in any way. This one took a really long time to design, and I'm particularly proud of it. But let's take a look at what's coming next week. And I am here to report that next week's not going to be the most exciting, but still consider subscribing because we're coming up for our Age of Calamity tie-in special, which you guys are going to be really excited for. But next week we are seeing Z0012, and yes, that's right, it's the polybag.